You know, my grandfather used to always say they only want it because they see it, right? And he used to get mad as shit when he said that shit. Like, you would think that comment, because you didn't understand his emotion behind it, that it was just simple or simplistic to a value of people being greedy and shit. But you know, the more I've been sitting with Divine, and the more I've been like watching things happen, and just being patient with Divine, Divine told me why my grandfather was mad, why he said that shit, why he was pissed off. My grandfather was a very God-fearing man. You know what I'm saying? He would sit down and listen to gospel, and he would pray very heavy over his food. He would pray over things. He moved in a certain way that I saw him and seemed like he was stern. It was his obedience, right? It was his obedience. So he would say it. He would say that angrily, because he knew if you always receive with your eyes, you wasn't truly a part of God. Whoa, I just got goosebumps. All praise due to the Most High. My grandfather knew that. He knew if you was one of those people that was always receiving with your eyes, always wanted shit, you wasn't receiving from God. You wasn't looking at it from a different perspective. And see, what I had to experience on doing, especially while I'm out here, is not have. I had the experiences of not having completely. And what happens when you got to just focus on one thing, you got to just lean into the divine. You have no choice but to have conversations with the divine. So when you face with certain shit, some people will lay down and don't say nothing. I have long conversations with the Most High, even when my stomach touching, my ribs touching. I'm sitting there like, you know what, Father? It's me and you. I say a lot of things, but it ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, but I give it to the Most High. And you know what? I've never been a person that put my hand out and beg nobody for nothing. Even while I'm out here in the street, I never got to that. I never said, hey, can I have? Nah, I still gave, because I know Divine was going to supply. I know Divine was going to make a way. I might have wanted it in my time, but I knew Divine wasn't going to let me starve. I know Divine wasn't going to let me be in a mentality to where I wouldn't be able to be sustained in some aspect. And things came out of the blue. They always came out of the blue, things I didn't see. So the things I saw that I thought I might have wanted or needed, I didn't need that. Divine gave me other things that was as important, that did the same thing. I'll let you figure that shit out for yourself or what it means. I'm not going to break that down to you. Because what he did for me and what he's always doing for me is just the reason why I got disciplined and the reason why I stayed next to him. But I understood what my grandfather would say. You only want it because you see it. You get upset. Because he knew you wasn't thinking from the divine principle. You wasn't thinking from the principle of God. And if you did, you would have been sacrificing everything that you naturally would have been connected to just so you can get serviced by God. There's no other service that's better than that, because nobody can see it. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can touch it. There's no notifications. You know what I'm saying? There's no analytical pretense to allow you to attach yourself to it to deal with manipulation. It doesn't exist. When you're dealing with God and you get through that pretense of faith and you start having that dependency and you break walls and then your whole thing is locked in on just a conversation of prayer, that's your normal routine and every day, that's when shit start taking a turn. I'm not going to break that down either, because there's a lot to come with that. I ain't breaking that down either, but if you don't go through the journey, you know what happens? You lose. You miss out on what Divine trying to tell you. So all that shit y'all fighting to keep and hold on to and all that, you just making it harder on yourself at the end of the day. Because eventually you still got to try to find out how to just depend on Divine. And if you can't do that, you already lost the war. Faith is a class. It ain't the big building yet. Faith, you got to get through that. And then you ain't going to be able to hang on to the faith bushes your whole life. You got to get to that dependency. And if you ain't there, sorry for you. You already know the vibes. NAGA.